Hi friends, this is Monish and I'm back with another beautiful book for your review. Uh, it's Clarissa, written by Samuel Richardson and first published in 1747. It's been a great pleasure reading this book. Let me give you my 2 cents of why should you read it, or the features I think that really stand out. Number one, and the elephant in the room, it's the longest novel ever written in English. So be prepared. These are 1500 pages and small font. So be prepared. You will likely spend a few months reading this book, and you would want to persevere because ultimately nowadays who has that kind of time to read one book for 6 months or so. So be prepared. It's the longest English novel. The second feature is it's riveting. It's a classic story of good versus evil. And it's not only that, but it's quite a penetrating reflection on human behavior and the family interactions and the support systems that we have, and how all this is hanging by a thread. Tomorrow things could collapse. And that really comes out jumping from this book is we have a protagonist who's the apple of the eye of everyone, and then circumstances lead to her downfall. And this downfall and these circumstances, the author Samuel Richardson have portrayed all this in an extremely beautiful and also in a very poignant manner. And these ever-changing circumstances in the story of our protagonist and the plot moving slowly keeps us riveted, wanting to know what's going to happen next. I feel that it was almost like reading a soap opera. It goes on, and especially the family interactions, how the sisters talk to each other, vying for attention, appreciation, how men go about boasting about their accomplishments and trying to do one better on the other. So all in all, it's quite riveting, and you would want to keep reading it just to know what happens next. The third feature, and I think you should be aware of this before you pick this book up, it is a tragedy and it is quite emotional. The first half of the book, the setup, how things progress, how one thing leads to another. The plot moves a little slowly, and therefore it can be a little frustrating, and that's why I request you to persevere when you start reading this book. But the second half is, the plot moves, you see what's going to happen next, and if there are more twists and turns to it. And from then on, the tragedy really jumps out. It is almost a denunciation of human nature, and also highlighting the fact that how everything is so fragile. The people that we depend upon, the life we foresee for ourselves, everything can change like this. And I know that the author meant it to be a warning of sorts for people of all ages, parents, uncles, aunts, young people, maidens, and debonair grooms. But what happens is you would not be prepared for the emotional roller coaster that it turns out to be. And there were many occasions when I had tears in my eyes reading this book. It's not, I would say it's not as overwhelming as some of Thomas Hardy's are, but yes, it is a tragedy. If you want to have a good cry, just be aware of the emotional impact that it's going to have on you. But in the end, you will be glad that you read this book. It has been acclaimed as one of the best ever written, and therefore it was on my list for a long time, and I wanted to read it. And I must say, I really enjoyed reading this book. Yeah, that was my 2 cents of Samuel Richardson's Clarissa, a beautiful, beautiful book, first published in 1747. Till next time, happy reading.